We already have a bunch of previews of the holiday releases, so I would like to share with you what I'm preparing as a wish list for the holidays. As you know, I don't like to constrain myself towards a no-buy. I think I have detected a few best of the best releases that are going to come up for the holidays. And I will use the profile GlowScope1 on Instagram. Of course, you will find the link to GlowScope1 in the description box. So let's see. Lancome. There's a nice overview on GlowScope1 about the Lancome releases. And I believe that the big palette with the quad and lipsticks is already available for purchase in some countries, for example, Germany. But the only palette I'm interested in this case is the smaller one without the lipsticks. Although I have to admit that palette with the blue would be more suitable for my skin tone because it's cooler in tone. But yeah, I don't like those bulky side lipsticks that make also the whole palette much more expensive. And I'm not a lipstick person, I'm more of an eyeshadow person, eyeshadow and blush person. So yeah, I don't like the idea. It looks like both the palettes will be Argelé. The Lancome Argelé formula is something that I haven't tried yet. To be honest, I don't have high expectations because I heard conflicting opinions about these eyeshadows. So with the Lancome, I was waiting for something with a color scheme that would suit me the most. And I'm not enthusiastic, let's say, about the sleeker palette, the one with the bronzy green shade. I'm sure that the beauty enthusiasts that I used to follow on YouTube will review this, and then I will have a better idea. But I have that sleeker palette with that bronzy green shade in my wish list. It's a maybe, not something that I will buy for sure. Still deciding about that. NARS. NARS is more mid-range, so I don't talk about it extensively. I have a few NARS products, especially when they release Argelé products. This collection that, let me see, is NARS for Iris van Herpen or Iris van Herpen. Looks like a Dutch or German name. The point is, I like when NARS has a special packaging. From looking at the images, I do think that the blushes are not Argelé. The only Argelé products are the powder, light reflecting prismatic powder, the pastel marble powder with pink, blue and yellow. I like this corrective colored powder in Argelé formula and with a packaging that does not have that rubber that I hate from NARS. So whenever I find plastic packaging by NARS that are much cleaner, I'm interested in. So this is one. The other product that is Argelé is the highlighter. But to be honest, this color looks like many other highlighters. Indash, House of Labs, those type of highlighters. This looks like a pink champagne. We have this color in many brands. So I'm not interested in this product specifically. So only the powder I have in my wish list. And let's see, like the Lancome one, it's something that I noted down and I'm not rushing to buy. Dior. Dior has multiple collections. And every year they release a big palette and a quint. There's a nice overview of past releases by GlowScope1 that I will propose here in this picture. And the new ones are nice, are very nice. I like the quint the most because the one with the lipsticks inside, I never use those type of lipsticks. I prefer bullet lipsticks. I like that taupe and also that beigey, yellowish beige. So those top shades in the eye part of this palette. But it's not enough for me to purchase the entire palette. So this is a no, but I like it. It's very pretty. And the quint, it's a nice mauvish. It looks very similar to that beige that I was talking about in the other palette. Again, these are colors that I have already multiple times. In Viseart, for example, is a brand that has proposed in the past a lot of these mauves. So it's pretty, but if I consider my collection, I don't need it. It's intriguing, but I will be strong and pass on it. But if you are a fan of the Dior talc-free formula or you like these colors, I think it's a pretty palette. And I'm pretty sure that Dior will also release a more luxury collection as usual. I expect more for the holidays by Dior. Tom Ford is a no, because this palette is a color story that I don't like. This is more for spring type of skin tones, so with more saturation. But I'm just the opposite. I'm muted, desaturated. So these colors on me do not look good. But if you like the peachy pink theme, then this is a, plain palette. In a sense, they play it safe. This is a safe color choice. It makes sense for Christmas. Depends on the brand. Some brands experiment more. This time Tom Ford went very conservative. Hourglass, I clarified my mind and I will pick the Dior palette only. No need to overbuy Hourglass. They always have the same problem. Everything leans warm and yellow, and I have plenty of those shades. I recently purchased a cool tone blush by Hourglass, Ethereal Glow. It was on my wish list, but the Dior palette by Hourglass is something that I will buy for sure, because my sweet spot for Hourglass. I love these powders. For me, the formula is spot on. Is my favorite baked formula when it comes to face powders. I wish there were multiple colors also for usage on the eyes. I think that I would use these baked powders on my eyes instead of their standard eyeshadow offering. And you can watch my review of the quad that has a surprise in it, because I could dupe it within my collection. So it was a redundant purchase that I regret. I could have skipped the high palette, but the face palettes with these baked powders is something that I would like to have in my collection, although it's quite redundant. But that Dior palette is light enough. Whenever Hourglass propose something that is light, I like to have in my collection. So only the Dior palette, but that will be a purchase. So until now, only the Hourglass palette passed as planned purchase, while the others deserved maybe to be in my wish list. But I think if I want to be conscious, I can only go for the Hourglass palette and keep in my wish list all the other things I've talked about to decant. Maybe try to dupe first and then decide. Especially now that I'm going through a reorganization, the clutter on my collection, so that I can focus on the amazing products I carefully collected over the time. Yves Saint Laurent, again, has this palette that is intriguing. This is another maybe I remember I've seen swatches somewhere. It's a neutral palette, in this case more muted than the others. I like the packaging, that is that gold packaging, very luxurious. I like the color story, is safe, but more muted compared to Tom Ford, for example. So this is more my type of safe choice for a work, for example. It's a maybe. If I find a good offer, I may go for it. The blush palette is already available for purchase, but it is more on the warmer side, and I can't do anything with the 3 highlighters. So I'm pretty confident it's not the last one. They will propose other iterations of this, because I think there's potential for this type of palette with many shades. So it would be nice to see other offerings in the future. But the eyeshadow palette is a maybe. And I also like those lipsticks, those with the golden packaging. If I'm distracted enough, they will stay to decant again in my wish list. Not a necessity. I can dupe them. Givenchy holiday collection is very interesting. Usual items, so holiday kits, and then there's highlighter, loose powder, and the palette. I'm intrigued by the palette, although the central column has 3 shades that are 2 on the yellowish side. They look more mustard yellow rather than orangey yellow. I need a comparison. I'm pretty sure that Lexi Young will buy the palette and compare it with my beloved 9.12. That is a great neutral palette that I already have. So I want to see how close the top shades are to what I already have, so the 9.12 palette. If they are different enough, I may consider it. So this eyeshadow palette is another item in my wish list, even higher in priority compared to Yves Saint Laurent. Cle de Peau, the Cle de Peau holiday collection is nice, to be honest. I like the lavender hue of the highlighter. I may be unpopular, but I don't like this, how can I say, crowdy packaging. It's not my style. I prefer more sleek and clean, minimal type of themes. This is too crowded for my liking. Looks messy, gives me anxiety. Talking about the products themselves, I'm not fond of the Cle de Peau formula when it comes to eyeshadows. They do not give me that fish eye that I despise. I don't like, you know my preferences. But I see some bumps on my eyes with this type of shimmers in the Cle de Peau eyeshadows. So I have already 2 quads. One I didn't open and is on my Vinted if you want to check. So given the problems that I have with the formula, I'm not willing to try anything more. That's the thing. So the eyeshadows are not truly my type of formula. The price is also steep, so all factors that made me decide for no. The highlighter, I have a highlighter in my collection from a couple of holidays ago. It's something that I'm planning to put on my Vinted soon because I never use them. This has that kind of neon lavender that looks interesting, but I would like to see how it translates on the skin. Again, this is a product I'm pretty sure many people will review on YouTube, so I will decide then looking at how it looks on the skin. And if it's too late, if I miss it, I don't care too much. So the highlighter is going to have a place in my wish list, but if I miss it, I won't be mad at it because this is a splurge. You know, when something is so expensive, it loses value for me. I don't like to spend so much in a single beauty product that is also an item like the highlighter that I don't use every day. So it doesn't make sense as a purchase for me if I think about it rationally. It's going to my wish list, but I will think carefully before translating the wish list in purchasing action. Prada. Prada has a bunch of holiday kits. I purchased 5 Prada lipsticks in spring. Lovely. I think they are the best formula in the market or among the best formulas. So I'm happy about my purchases, but now I have enough, so not interested in any of these. Last year I purchased a kit that had a mini size of that blue balm. It's great, but I don't think I will commit to the full size simply because of the price. My favorite item is the kit with the 2 balms because I use balms a lot and Prada ones are very good. The highlighters, again, I've been strong until now. I think I can skip them. The point is the undertones, these tend to be warm. So maybe in the future I will find a color that is more suitable for my skin. Given the price of these, I need to find the perfect shade for me and not buy something just because I want to try. It's a mindset that I want to avoid. If something is very expensive, I need to be enthusiastic about the color. And this is not happening here, so it's a skip. I will avoid Prada purchases this year. I did it last year. This year, I can skip it. And finally, Chanel. You can find an old post in the Glow Scope one. You can find it. Find it by yourself, but I won't repost anything from Chanel that has not been released yet. There's a quad with purple and blue tones and is in the Heart formula. This deserves my attention and this is a must buy for me. So I will buy it as soon as it is released. And the palette is called Starry Night. It's not a palette that I would use by itself, but paired with other palettes. So I will need some warmth to be had, some browns to be, mixed with these colors. But I'm happy that Chanel proposes something cool-toned and different, finally, not the usual browns. So, and is in the Heart formula, that is a special one. So, yes, Another strategy I would like to share with you is that since this is a holiday collection, it will be available on multiple retailers. And my strategy is to try to get a discount. So I will monitor the retailers close to me and pick the palette with a discount. Because I overspent on Chanel in the past, buying full price from their website. Lately, I purchased a couple of palettes full price. So this time, I will wait until I find a discount. That is my strategy. With holiday collections, I can do that because they are meant to be widespread, so available also on retailers. So all in all, to recap, I have two must-buy, two things that I will buy for sure. This Chanel Quad and the Hourglass palette. All the rest we discussed about. I have some items in my wish list, but they can definitely stay in my wish list to decant, and I can try to dupe them. There's no rush and no need to buy them. And to be honest, I'm thinking about buying only these two items I've talked about and just skipping the rest. I feel I have enough. I will conclude with one sentence. Distraction is the best enemy for addiction. And distraction means trying to enrich your life with different type of inputs, of experiences. And that definitely works for me. So I have bought so many things in the past, and what you end up having are old products that are going to expire. So there's truly no need to add many things to just increase your frustration. That's why the conclusion is I just want to bring the minimum to spark my joy. I love to be presentable, more confident, to be the best version of myself. I think that is important in our life. But having care of our health holistically as a whole, instead of just focusing on the face, on the eyes, and on the lips, right? This is my type of mindset. And when I bring something new, that should be the best. And if you look at the two items I talked about that I've selected, that I will buy for sure, those are the best formula for me, the Givenchy formula for the eyeshadows and the baked Hourglass formula for the face. Those are the top best of the best formulas I have, together with the Japanese formulas. I can invest the rest of the money for other aspects of my life. Have you set up your holiday wish list already? Let me know in the comments. See you in my next video. Bye!